Actually, and Gordon Brown said it's like a Dickens novel.
Yeah,
That's what he said.
absolutely. He said, and there has to be a emergency budget, because if there isn't, then I mean the situation in winter is going to be absolutely catastrophic. But of course, he doesn't explain why an emergency budget in and of itself is going to make any difference.
Well, why would it?
You have to have a. Why would it? Indeed, you have to have a plan. And of course, nobody is coming up in Britain with any kind of plan. Now, I mentioned on a video that we did a few days ago that about the situation in Britain, about the fact that my wife and I had seen street fights happening near our home, and a number of people came back who live in London who said, well, this street fights are not that uncommon in my neighbourhood. But the point is, they are unheard of in the area of London where I am. This was an affluent part of London. People are at breaking point, and you hear more and more people talking about this.
Yeah.
It's not just people in the economically deprived conditions who are being affected. It is now people who would undoubtedly consider themselves affluent, middle class. They are under enormous pressure. Inflation is rising, mortgage costs are rising, taxes are at historically high, unprecedented levels. And when people talk about a cost of living crisis, I mean, that is a euphemism for a collapse in living standards, the extent of which we have never seen.
All right, 1 minute. I have to ask you this question about this petition that's being floated around the internet to not pay the power bills in the UK. Is this the real thing, or is this?
It is absolutely.
And what happens if they don't pay?
What
Just out of curiosity.
It is not, by the way. It is
The government said it's going to make things worse. Do you agree with that?
Well, maybe it will, but it's the kind of thing that people who are pushed into prison, who are in desperate straits, are likely to do. The fact is, more and more people are not going to be able to pay their power bills. So at least they might as well make a protest of it. And it is real, it is going to happen. I mean, that is a real possibility. And what does the government do in that kind of situation? What do the power companies
What do they do?
Well, what do they do? I don't know. I mean, disconnect people, I suppose.
We're like in uncharted...
But we are in uncharted waters. And the political class are in denial about this. Liz Truss talks about cutting taxes. The whole discussion is about the need to cut taxes. The trouble is, at this kind of situation we are in, any tax cut is going to be immediately reabsorbed by increases in interest rates, increases in energy costs, increases in food costs. It's not in itself a solution to the problem, and there doesn't seem to be any idea on the part of the political class for a solution.
Right.
And in the absence of a plan, people are becoming desperate, and they're talking about not paying their energy bills, their fuel bills, and predictably before very long we're going to have a property price collapse as well, and more people are going to start defaulting on their mortgages.
Jeez.
And when that happens, by the way, then we are in a crisis that is serious beyond words.
We will leave it there, everybody, in Athens with Alexander Mercouris. This is actually the Kolonaki Square, which we just learned, Alexander, from your brothers, it can actually be a metro stop.
Yeah.
That is interesting. That's a good sign, I guess. Anyway,
Yeah.
we'll leave it there. This has been an exclusive video for our members. Take care, everybody.